Two sisters leave Ayala Center, Cebu, 1997. Only one corpse ever turns up. 7 guys land in handcuffs, but 45 witnesses insist the mastermind was in Manila, an hour's flight away. One self-confessed drug courier points the finger, and the court buys it. Welcome to the case that still keeps lawyers awake and comment sections on fire. If you were a kid in the 90s, you remember the Xeroxed posters taped inside jeepneys. Have you seen these girls? If you missed that, you've still heard the arguments. Railroaded cover-up miscarriage of justice. Tonight we're not picking a side, we're walking the whole tightrope. I've spent the last 2 weeks rereading every Supreme Court PDF, every newsreel, every handwritten affidavit, so you don't have to. When we're done, you'll understand why half the country yells guilty while the other half yells framed, and why, 26 years on, no one can agree on what actually happened in the hills of Tanawan. Ready? Let's rewind to the last normal night Marijoy and Jacqueline Chiong ever had. July 16, 1997, 7:30 p.m. Ayala Cebu is heaving with payday shoppers. Marijoy, 21, and Jacqueline, 23, hug friends outside Pancake House and head for the car park. They never make it to their car. By 11 p.m. their mum, Dionysia, is speed dialing every hospital, no record. At 2 a.m. she files a missing person report and pins up a P100K reward. By dawn, radio DZMM is flashing the alert. 2 days later, a farmer gathering firewood in Tanawan car catches a sweet sickly smell at the bottom of a 150-foot ravine. Police rope off the scene. A woman lies face down, wrists bound with yellow twine, jeans unzipped. A crumpled ID in the pocket reads, Marijoy Chiong. The body's too bloated for facial ID, but Dionysia swears it's her girl. Knee birthmark, orange toenails, hair tie she bought the week before. Jacqueline is nowhere. Forensics finds one semen stain. The rest of the rape kit is gone because the paper bags weren't sealed. No fingerprints, no murder weapon, no CCTV. Cebu in 97 barely had traffic lights. The autopsy says asphyxia by strangulation, time of death, 48 hours. Translation: whoever did this had a 2-day head start before the country even knew two sisters were missing. Meet Davidson Rusha, 28, resume, motel clerk, casual coke user, deported from the US for credit card fraud. Cops pick him up for a curfew breach on July 25th. By August 3rd he's the prosecution's star. His 12-page statement claims he drove the van while Paco Laranaga and 6 others dragged the sisters to a safe house, gang-raped them, then dumped Marijoy alive off the cliff. Why would 7 college boys ask the motel guy to drive? Rusha shrugs. They needed a chaperone. He walks away with immunity, a new name, and a one-way ticket to the U.S. Witness Protection Program. At trial, defense lawyers pounce on the holes. He says abduction at 8 p.m., but mall receipts show the girls buying popcorn at 8:17. He swears the safe house walls were pink, the landlord testifies they're baby blue. Judge Oposa caps cross-examination at 2 hours, citing repetition. Rusha spends 6 days on the stand. Primetime dubs it the Perry Mason moment. 70% of the prosecution's case rests on his word. No DNA, no weapon, just Rusha pointing fingers. Asked about his fraud convictions, he grins. I lied before, but I'm telling the truth now. The gallery applauds, the judge bangs the gavel, the clip loops on the evening news for weeks. By the time the defense wheels in 45 alibi witnesses, the public already knows the script. Rich kids, entitlement, evil. Paco Laranaga's birthday is, coincidence, July 16. Classmates, profs, even the culinary school dean swear he was in Manila, 560 kilometers north. Photos place him at a Malete restaurant at 8 p.m. Credit card slip stamped 9:12 p.m. Airline manifest shows he flew back 3 days later. The trial court's answer: alibi is the weakest defense, positive identification prevails. Same court labels the photos staged and the manifest doctored, without ordering forensic tests. The Supreme Court later cosigns the logic under conspiracy doctrine. If you conspired, physical absence is irrelevant. Critics call it guilt by Zoom call. Marguerite Laranaga flies to Madrid and files a complaint before the UN Human Rights Committee. In 2006, the committee rules, the Philippines breached due process, recommends reparation. Manila ignores it, the penalty is upgraded to death by lethal injection. Paco smuggles a letter to the press, I'm in a 4x9 cell but my mind is in law school. If I survive, I'll still be a lawyer. He never attended another class. In 2008, the country abolishes the death penalty. All sentences drop to life without parole. 2 years later, Paco is quietly transferred to a Spanish prison under a bilateral treaty. The other 6 remain in Muntinlupa, appeals exhausted, time frozen. Remember that lone semen stain? The forensic chemist testifies it shows 1 sperm head, no tail, too degraded for 1997 DNA tech. In 2004, the Supreme Court orders retesting. By then, the underwear is moldy and the chain of custody looks like shredded cheese. Result? Inconclusive. Defense petitions to exhume the Tanawan corpse for mitochondrial comparison with the Chiong maternal line. The family blocks it on religious grounds, petition denied, so we still don't know if the body is Maryjoy. The trial court accepts Dionysia's visual ID, citing maternal instinct, yet evidence photos show the corpse wearing size 6 sandals. Friends swear Maryjoy wore size 8. The yellow cord? Generic packaging twine sold in every palinka. No soil on suspects' shoes, no tire casts because the alleged van was never found. Physical evidence is thinner than gas station napkins. Under Philippine rules though, judge-led trials can convict on witness credibility alone. The judge found Rusha credible. End of story, until law school ethics classes start ripping the decision apart and YouTube spawns free Paco mashups. Generational split. Boomers who watch the 99 newscasts still say guilty, Zoomers who binge crime docs say railroaded. Both camps share the same screenshots, just circle different lines. May 5, 1999, courtroom 105, the clerk reads the sentence. Double life, later upgraded to death, later commuted to life again. Dionysia Chiong faints, the convict's mother's wail. Press bulbs flash like a red carpet premiere. Outside, protesters wave cardboard coffins. Death to rapists. Inside, Marguerite whispers to Paco in Spanish, Guarda tu dignidad. The case turns into a cottage industry. True crime paperbacks, an indie film, a stage play where actors wear Rusha rubber masks. Every election, some senator pledges to reopen. No one files the actual motion. In 2019, a podcast hits #1 on Spotify Philippines. Episodes pick apart Rusha's US rap sheet. Netizens unearth blurry Friendster photos of the accused, pixelated faces captioned, still innocent. The Supreme Court, in a 2021 ruling on a different case, name-drops Chiong as an example of flawed eyewitness identification, yet denies reconsideration. Meanwhile, Tan Awan locals swear the cliff is cursed. Candles flicker every July 18th. One of the convicts, now 47, teaches calculus to fellow inmates, another preaches Sunday sermons. Jacqueline's disappearance is still an open folder at the CIDG, wedged between 2 other unsolved, 98 and 2000 cases you've never heard of because they didn't involve rich kids or live TV. The sister's father, Dionisio, died in 2015 still asking, where is my other daughter? If you've stuck around this long, hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's dive into the 1993 Visconti massacre, another timeline rabbit hole. Drop a comment. Did the courts nail it, or did 7 families lose decades to a story stitched by one ex-con? Keep it respectful, keep it factual, smash those share buttons, and I'll catch you in the next deep dive. Preview content for next episode. The Chiong sisters case is a mirror. Angle it one way and you see monsters in rich kid faces. Angle it another and you see cracks in a system that confuses speed with fairness. We may never know what really happened that night in Cebu. We only know 2 daughters never came home and 7 men still wake up behind bars. Call it justice, call it tragedy, probably it's both. Keep asking questions, keep reading past the headlines, and never forget that behind every legal term is a life measured in years, in tears, in unanswered whispers at the edge of a cliff.